Last episode of Average Mike, we cut all the pieces, glued the bottom pieces, and screwed them all together. Now we're sanding down the desk to get ready for the install. Okay, welcome to Average Mike. We are doing the build for Michael's room. We're taking this bunk bed apart. Caitlin has slept over last night, so she slept on the bottom. Michael and Mason slept up top. So this is what the room kind of looks like now. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the bookshelves across the top here and the desk in the middle down the bottom. This all is going to Mason's room, and we'll do something later with his room. That dresser is gonna go away, and we're gonna build a shelving unit inside the closet, which is over here. What we're doing now is we're taking these for the shelf build. We're taking the base of the shelf. This is the bottom, right? You see the screws I put in the bottom. This is the ones we clamped up and glued earlier. Right? So they're all dry now, clamped up. I put the screws in for long lasting, whatever. So now what we're doing is we're gonna measure the frame out, because these are gonna be independent shelves on both sides of the desk, mounted to the wall by the base and by the nailer on the top. So what I wanna do is be able to nail the base to this, or screw the base to this, and then screw the top piece sides to the top nailer, and then nail it to the wall. So you've got really good points of things. So for a kick plate, it's 3 inches on all sides. So you're just gonna basically mark up 3 inches all sides. Nice. So the step you missed was, I forgot to start recording, was sanding down all the edges. So once it's glued, you're not gonna have perfect cuts all the way around unless you have absolute precision tools. I don't have absolute precision tools, nor am I. So you sand it all down, make it smooth, and make it all level on the side, right? Now it's silky smooth, and they're flush all the way around. So you're gonna mark the 3 inches all the way around this thing. And you're gonna essentially draw your lines, right? Because this is the bottom of it. You're not really gonna care. You're not gonna see this for a long time. So just draw your lines right up on it. Not to mention, we are painting it. So if you remember that, we're gonna paint this white. So now what I could do, now that I have the lines drawn, right? And no, you're not delayed. I'm saying it before I'm done, finished it. Is, so now you have a box 3 inches inside of this of the box, right? So of the base. Okay. Now you're gonna repeat this twice because each shelf gets a base, right? Obviously, right? So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna measure this 1.5 inches over here, right? 1.5 inches over here, 1.5 inches over here. Right, and that'll give you the width of the studs, the 2x4s that we're using for the base, right? And we're gonna do it all the way around, and we're gonna have what it's gonna look like is 2 boxes, one on the inside of another, and those 2 boxes will be where you do your pre-drills at. You pick your spots, do your pre-drills, and that way you know exactly where the studs are. You're not poking and guessing. You mark where you want it. You do the proper structure, proper distance, and you'll get your screws sunk in nice and tight, so you can fill it in with wood putty and then paint it. Because you got to remember that when you do the pre-drill, you're drilling all the way through, and this is 1.5 inches. So you're drilling all the way through this 1.5 inches. Okay. And when you drill all the way through the 1.5 inches, it's going to come out where this will be the bottom of the shelf. This will be the bottom shelf, right? So you're going to see a hole, and you don't want to see a hole, so because you're going to screw this way down into those studs that are going to be in that in that dimensions I just drew in this little rectangle. Here's where your base is going to be. That's going to be your base. So you're going to have those holes draw. I'm going to do 3 and 2, right? I actually might do 4. Nah, I'll do 3. 1 on the center, 2 on the sides, and then 2 on the sides here. And that'll give me 4. That'll give me a pretty good pretty good attachment to the base on the front. And then that back stud that goes across here this way, because we're going to do them soldier style, which means standing on the shallow, right? So not flat where the 3.5 inches against the ground. It's going to be up like this, like a stud. So it's called soldier style. So when you're going to put soldiers up against the wall, and it's going to come off the ground 3 inches like we wanted, 3.5 inches like we wanted it to, so we could put a 3-inch base underneath to make it look nice. So that's kind of how we want to finish. So you're kind of having, when you walk in, you're going to have a kick toe all the way around, including on the desk side. So that's going to be pretty cool. So I'm essentially building 2 built-ins, separate of each other, and then the desk in between. So it's all going to be one full unit when it's all done and attached. All right, so I have the measurements here. It's all done, and so since I've already measured that out, now I can actually cut the 2x4s and create what will become the base for it. So I'm going to go one long, so that's 26 inches, and I'm going to go short here. That's 7.5. So 26 by 7.5 will be the base. So I need 2 7.5s, 2 26 inches. Actually, that's going to be that way. So let's go. I got to take 1.5 inches off this way, because remember I got that 1.5 inches going this way. So which we got to mark, because we don't want to put the pre-drill any close 1.5 inches into the wall where that stud's going to be in, because we won't be able to see it into this one. So let's just draw that. Just draw that stud in, just so we don't forget that it is there. Take the time now, because when you want to do this later on and it's fully built, you basically got to take it apart to do it, and that is a nightmare. All right, so there's that. So I'm going to cut 2 26 and 2 what looks like 6 inch perfect. No, 7.5, yeah, 1.5 inches off, yeah, 6 inches. Perfect. So I'm going to cut those. I'm going to make 2 boxes, like I said, one here, one for the other one. Since it's only 26 inches, I was going to do a middle strut to keep it from swabbling, but it's only 26 inches, so that's pretty good. So what you see over here resting on the cooler, because that's kind of out of the way, is the desktop. So another thing you missed was I glued that together. Same process as sandwiching these guys together. Glued that together. It's clamped up. I put weights in the middle so it all weighs down. So that one should be finished. I had a lot of glue on it because it's a pretty big piece. It's 4 foot by 25 inches. So I put a lot of glue on it. Did the S and the crisscross, and then put the weight on it, which is just my old floor and the Nucor floor I did on my other videos, which are 60 pounds every box, or 40 pounds per box, or whatever. And then clamps on the edges so that the edges stay tight and sealed. I told you the last one, I have no more clamps. It's apparently I had 10 of them, and now I can't find any of them. So that's part of the reason why I organized the garage. I couldn't find any of my tools. So now I'm getting a little bit better on the organization. And there we go. We have 4 26-inch pieces, 4 6-inch pieces. Now I get to screw those puppies together and be the base of our bookshelves. So they're gonna go like this. Okay, so like I said before, so what we're gonna do is basically, you see these lines right on here now, okay? So I built this to fit right into that box, okay? So that is gonna be fit nicely like there into that box, and I'm gonna pre-drill through the bottom plate, right? And so if you pre-drill through the bottom plate, then you can mount right into the stud into this frame I just built, which is ends up holding it off to the ground, right? So we can put the base on that and make it look nice, right? Nice little, right? We'll paint that white and make the base nice, 3.5 inch base, nice underneath there. Tack it, won't even know it is even 2x4s underneath there, right? So and then you get a nice little 1 inch, 1.5 inch trim to go around the edges of all of it, and it looks beautiful, beautiful. So paint it all white, it's good to go. So I'm gonna pre-drill. I'm gonna mount these things to it. So I got the peoples out here working. They're painting the shelves themselves. They're painting the base, and the actual insert shelves are working on the old '06 Dodge. We're just doing basic white for his room. We're going a little bit of satin on that finish so that we can, you know, we can wipe it down. It's a boys' room after all. So continuing now, we have. So I did the pre-drills on the shelves themselves. You know, you guys don't need to watch me drill holes. So I'm gonna cut the returns of the shelves down to 89.5 inches because we're 5 inches off the ground. With the 2x4s, we're 1.5 inches of thickness on the base, 89.5 inches, and then 1.5 inches on top for the nailers, which gives us a total of 96 inches total. Check the math on that, but because I'll check the math when I get up there and I'll be like, what? No. So I'll show you the clip with what happens before we start working in the room. I'm setting the base now for them, just kind of getting them right, taking the molding off the wall, cutting that down to what we need it to be. And then the other things that happened, I think you've seen it, was we had the glue. We glued the desk. Yesterday we sandwiched the two 3/4 inch pieces. So that's kind of a summary of day one. Now day two starting, or let's call it part two of this build. We're gonna cut these returns down, and then once the paint dries on those guys, we're gonna go ahead and switch out and paint the returns. And then when they dry, we're gonna be able to assemble, and then we're gonna do the final touches of paint in the room itself. That way, we're not just doing base painting and stuff like that. But we bought the paint plus primer, so it might need 1 or 2 more coats, depending how we want the finish to look. All right, cool. Hang in there, check it out. See you on the backside. Thanks for watching Average Mike. I appreciate it. Like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.